All right, ladies, I wanted to finish up these notes for example 4 and example 5 for you. All right, so we got to example 4, the x and the y intercepts, and I marked where the graph is above the x-axis. Notice that's the part marked in red, and we need to get this between statement. This is between two numbers. It's between this point and this point. Remember, we want the x value here, so that's 0, and this is 4. They're the same numbers that we got up here for the x-intercepts. So above the x-axis is going to be between x equals 0 and x equals 4. Below the x-axis, I'm going to do in blue. That's the left side and the right side. You need to write that as two separate statements. So left of x equals 0. Also, right of x equals 4. Okay? Increasing and decreasing. For increasing and decreasing, we do not look at the x-intercepts. Instead, we look at this little point up here at the top. So you want to write those coordinates up there. That point is 2, 4, or actually you only need the 2. That's the important piece of information here. The left side of the graph is increasing. As I go along this graph, I am rising on the left. So this will be left of x equals 2. And then on the other side of the graph, as we go over here, we decrease down. That's on the right. And so that is right of x equals 2. All right? Let's flip over and try example 5. This one bounces all over the place, a little roller coaster. All right, what are the x-intercepts? I'll do those in blue this time. There are 3 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -5, -1. And I'm going to apologize for this. When I made this graph, it actually was right in the corner, and then when I resized it, it looks like it kind of got off a little bit. I meant for this x-intercept to be right there on that corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not going to have us estimating for these, so I'll try to be a little bit more careful next time. So there's my x-intercepts. There are 3 of them. I'd like you to write them as points. -5, 0, -1, 0, and 5, 0. And then the y-intercept is right up here, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we want to write that as 0, 4. Now these numbers, the x-intercepts, are going to be the numbers that we use down here to talk about above and below. They're going to come down here and get used in this. I'm going to go over here and highlight the above sections. So the first little section is right here, all the way over to the far left. That's above. And the second above section is kind of in the middle here. So this one's all the way to the left. It's got that arrow. And this one is between 2 numbers because it has those points where it stops right there. Okay? So to write the above, we're going to say to the left of x equals -5. That gets this section over to the left. And then we're going to do between x equals -1 and x equals 5. That gets this section here in between. Okay? I'll switch over to green this time for below. So the first below section is here. Can you see how that's between 2 things? It does not have an arrow on either end of it. So this first below section is going to be between x equals -5 and x equals -1. Then we'll skip over to this last little section, which has an arrow on it. So that's all the way over to the left of x equals 5. Okay? Now, I wish we could highlight, maybe have 2 separate graphs so you can highlight both of them. One color for above and below and a different color for increasing. But for right now, I'll just take the red and sort of talk through the increasing and decreasing part of this graph. Sometimes when I do these, instead of answering increasing and then answer decreasing, I try to just work my way across. So start all the way at the far left. I'm going to start high and I'm going to decrease down to here. That's my first decrease, my first section of the graph. So that's all the way to the left. Left of, and I have to pick the correct number. Make sure you don't pick x-intercepts. You need to pick this point right here at the very bottom. And that point is 1, 2, 3, -3, comma, -3, and I pick the x value. So the graph is decreasing left of x equals -3. All right, after it decreases, the next thing it does, oh, I didn't get that enough. After it decreases, the next thing it does is increase. And it increases until it gets up to this point right up here. Okay, and again, I apologize. I meant for that to be right on that corner up there. 1, 2, comma, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need the 2. We need the x value. All right, and that's in between. It's in between two numbers. It doesn't have an arrow on the end of it. So it's increasing between, oops, sorry, -3, x equals -3, and x equals 2. The x coordinates of those little points at the bottom and the top. All right. And then on the far right, all the way over here, it is decreasing. Why did I put left there? I think I need to go back and fix that. All the way over to the far right, it is decreasing. So right of 2. Okay? Right of x equals 2. And let me just go back up here. I made this wrong. This right here, I put a left. I think it's because I was facing backwards when I was talking. So this one up here for below the x-axis, this word should have been right of x equals 5. Okay? All right. I think you're going to get some right and some wrong, and that's okay. We will work on them again together in class on Thursday. We'll fix everything that's wrong, and we'll probably have a second shot at this without having to learn anything new. We'll just have a second chance to do this assignment very much like this. All right.